my name is Lucretia and I want to share with you 4 ways that I'm able to manage my home and my business like a CEO. And I say a CEO because that is the person that is responsible for the day-to-day activities. I started my business back in 2019 when my daughter was only 6 weeks old. And then as I started with a blog, then I did some coaching, and then I went back to like content creation. So since then, I've learned a thing or two about managing my time. I've had another daughter since then. So productivity has really been a strong suit for me and really trying to figure out ways that I can simplify my home and simplify my business. That's why I created the Productivity Power Pack, which is my free productivity bundle that will help you start simplifying how you manage your time and how you manage your home so you can increase your productivity without trying to do all the things. So let's go into the first way that I run my home and my business like a CEO, and that is setting my intention. So the evening before, I go ahead and I prepare as much as possible for the next day. So that for me looks like knowing what we're going to eat the next day. It looks like knowing what the girls are going to wear, what I am going to wear, any little thing like that that I can prepare for the day before. I go ahead and get it ready. So that is the very first thing I do is set my intention, I plan ahead, and I'm clear about what I want my day to look like. When I'm setting my intentions for my business, that looks like me knowing exactly what to work on whenever I sit down. If you have read Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about motion and action. So motion tasks are those tasks that make us feel like we're doing something important, but we're really just being busy. So for me, a motion task would be like making Instagram graphics or writing captions, but I don't ever even post what I've designed or the caption that I wrote. So it just made me feel like I was doing something in the moment, but it didn't produce any type of result for me. And action tasks are those revenue generating activities that you do for your business. So for me, that looks like writing emails. As soon as I write an email, I usually get sales, or updating a sales page and increasing how many sales I get from that page. So those are action tasks. So I try to make sure that I'm focusing on the action tasks first. And then if I have time later on, I can do those motion tasks like posting on Instagram or any type of social media platform, and little tasks like that that don't immediately result in a sale for me. The second way that I am able to run my home and my business like a CEO is that I am open to receiving. Whenever I first started my business, I felt like I was the one that needed to do everything. So when it came to my business, I felt like I needed to do everything. And when it came to running my home, I felt like I needed to be the one to do everything. So I was doing all the cleaning, all the cooking. In my business, I was doing all of the tasks. So all of the blogging tasks, which was like outlining the blog posts, uploading them, finding images, posting on social media. I was doing every single thing for my home and my business. And what happened was I had a major burnout. And that's when I realized that I needed to ask for help and that it was okay to ask for help. It didn't mean that I was a bad mom. It didn't mean I was a bad wife. It didn't mean that I couldn't handle running a business. It just meant that I needed more help, and that's okay. So now I allow myself to be supported. Whenever my husband does the dishes, I don't, criticize how he does them. I allow him to do the dishes without me standing over his shoulder and telling him how I want it done because I believe that my way is the best way. I don't do that. I just let him do whatever he wants to do, whichever way he sees fit. And I appreciate the help because it's both of our homes and I didn't feel like I should be the one that does everything. So I allow my family to help out more. So my 3-year-old, she cleans up after herself as well. And I make sure that the home is suitable for her, where like she has snacks down on her level that she can reach them. She has dishes down where she can reach them. Her toys are where she can reach them. So I really want her to be more independent so she doesn't have to rely on us to do everything for her, which makes it easier for her and for us as well. In my business, being open to receiving looks like hiring a mentor. So I like buying courses and hiring a coach to help me kind of fast track my success instead of just trying to Google everything or watch YouTube videos and try to learn everything myself. I'd rather work with someone who has already accomplished what I'm trying to accomplish so I can bypass all of the mistakes that they made and just fast track my way to success. So instead of thinking that I have all the answers or that I can find all the answers for free and I can kind of, duct tape my business together, I'd rather invest and be open to receiving the feedback and the help from someone who's already accomplished what I want to accomplish. So just allowing myself to be supported and opening myself up to receiving that help without criticizing it or feeling like it needed to be done a certain way was the second way that I am able to manage my home and my business like a CEO. So this third way was pretty hard for me to adapt to, but that was letting things be easy. So the way I grew up was that you had to work hard for everything you had. Like you had to work hard in order to receive a break, or you had to work hard in order to get paid. What I've really been shifting into is just letting things be easy and not glorifying the struggle. Like the struggle makes me a better person, because it doesn't. I don't have to work hard in order to deserve a break. So if I wake up and I'm still tired, that's okay. I don't need to force myself to get up and do all of these things that don't even need to be done right now, because I don't feel like I have done enough to take a break. So that's one thing that I've really been working on, is just letting things be easy and not forcing myself to do things that I don't enjoy doing. So like I stated earlier, my husband does the dishes a lot of the time and I don't enjoy doing the dishes. So that was one thing where I struggled with. I felt like I needed to be the one to do that, because that's how I was raised, where the woman does most of the housework. And so that was a transition for me to have him helping more around the house, because that's not how I grew up. So I realized that the more I allow my family to help, the more time we get together as a family, because I'm not the one running around trying to do everything myself, and they're enjoying all of this time together and I'm in the kitchen cleaning or cooking, or I'm putting away laundry and doing all this stuff by myself. So now I'm allowing things to be easy. And another thing that I realized as well is that you only have time or money. Those are our most valuable resources. So I would rather spend money to get things done rather than spending my time, because at the beginning of the day, you have 24 hours and that's it. Like you can't end the day with 32 hours, right? You can't get more time. But if I start the day with $100, I could end the day with $200. I can make more money, but I can't make more time. So I would rather spend money in order to get my time back. So that was one shift as well that has been big for me, is realizing that it's okay to spend money for someone to clean my home, or it's okay to spend money for someone to, help with the laundry or for meals. Like that's okay to spend money for people to help with those tasks, because that's giving me, 2 hours back where I can go hang out with my family. We can go play at the park or go to a museum or do something fun, instead of me spending all of that time cooking and cleaning and doing these things that I really don't want to do anyways. Whenever I let things be easy in my business, for me that looks like automating as much as possible instead of doing so much active income tasks. I prefer passive income. So for me, passive income would be like making this YouTube video where I talk about the free productivity bundle, and people will sign up for that bundle and then they'll be on my email list. So they are going to do that for years to come thanks to this video. So for me, that is a passive income task. And an active income task would be like whenever I was coaching and I would have to meet with someone for 45 minutes and I'd have to, try to keep my kids quiet for those 45 minutes so I can focus on what my coaching client was saying. So that for me was an active income task, and it felt more difficult. But now that I'm letting things be easy, I'm automating as much of my business as possible so that I am not constantly working on it. So I prefer that whenever I stop working, that I can still make money. So I prefer the passive income route rather than the active income, where if I'm not there to make a coaching call, then I either have to reschedule it, or I'm gonna have to refund them their money because I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. That type of income stream for me seems too active for me to be trying to do with 2 little kids at home, and I prefer to do the passive income route. So I prefer to let things be easy, and to me that looks like automating as much of my business as possible. And the fourth way that I run my business and my home like a CEO is that I focus on creating habits instead of creating schedules. So I believe in structure without a schedule, because for me, with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, trying to stick to a schedule caused more stress than it was helpful. So I really focus on creating better habits instead of creating a schedule. So I don't do time blocking or anything like that, which inside of the Productivity Power Pack, there is a time management system that I use. So you'll get to see that inside of that free bundle, and the link to that is in the description below. So whenever I'm creating habits, the main way that I'm able to do this is by habit stacking. And habit stacking is whenever you add a new habit onto an old existing habit. So this would be like one of the habits I've started recently was getting up and taking a walk in the morning. So as soon as we wake up in the morning, well, as soon as my 6-month-old wakes up in the morning, I feed her, and then we get dressed and we take a walk around the cul-de-sac, and I usually walk for 1 mile. So that is how I've been able to create that new habit of walking and getting in some exercise in the morning, is by our old existing habit of us waking up and her eating. Then as soon as she's done eating, we go ahead and walk. So that's the new habit. So the old habit was her eating as soon as she wakes up, which we do every single morning. And then right after that, we go into the new habit of walking around the cul-de-sac for 1 mile. Creating habits in my business is like actually showing up to work on my business. So it's so easy when you work from home to just sit on the couch and watch TV or get caught up in all the day-to-day activities like the cleaning and cooking and laundry and all of that stuff, that you feel like you don't have time to actually work on your business. So I have created the habit of coming in my office every afternoon after lunch and working on my business. I have created the habit of working on my business sometime in the evening where I can do it from bed. So I'll either like write a few emails from bed, I'll outline a video so I'll know what I'm gonna say during the video. I can write captions for Instagram. So any little task like that, I have created that habit where I show up for my business throughout the day. So creating the habit of actually showing up and working on your business is crucial. So anytime that I want to create a new, better habit for myself, I use habit stacking to start a new, healthier habit and really start building out my day how I want it to look. And another thing that I do that's been incredibly helpful was limiting the amount of time I spend on social media. And I do that by setting app limits. So I limit all of my social media to 1 hour per day. And social media for me are things like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Those are the 3 main ones that I use. So I limit all of those apps to 1 hour combined for the day. And at first I did go over that limit a few times, but as time went on, I learned that I really didn't want to be on there anyways, because whenever I got off of the app, I felt like I wasted my time. Now it's really easy for me to spend less than an hour a day on social media. I very rarely even hit the hour. Like most of the time, I might spend like 30 to 40 minutes on social media for the entire day. So it really is helpful to set that app limit, because when you're on the app, you don't have to like keep track of your time. It'll automatically kick you off. I enjoyed that because it's more of an automated process of managing my time rather than me having to time how much I've been on these apps combined all day. So your phone will automatically do it for you. I set a 1 hour app limit. If that's what you want to start with, great, but I recommend starting with like 50% less than what you're doing now. So if you, like when I started, I was on those apps like 6 to 8 hours a day. So I instantly, like I knew that was a lot and I did not want to be on social media that much. So I went down to 1 hour and that worked for me. But if you just want to cut yours by like 50%, so if you're on there for 6 hours a day and you just want to set your app limit for 3 hours a day, then like start simple. But if you want to be like me and just kind of go all out, then just 1 hour I think is plenty for the entire day to be on there. There's not that much going on there anyways that you really need to be seeing, and I'd rather be enjoying all of that time with my family or doing things for myself than spending it sitting on my phone. So if you want a simple way to start managing your time better, I would definitely start with setting that app limit. If it's 1 hour, 3 hours, however many hours per day you see suitable for you, I would definitely start there with setting that app limit on your phone so you can limit how much time you're spending on social media, and then it frees up more time for you to do other things with your life. So those are the 4 ways I run my home and my business like a CEO. And if you want to get started managing your time in a way that doesn't require you to time block or create these really strict schedules, definitely grab the Productivity Power Pack. It is 100% free. The link is in the description below, and I will see you on the next video.